everybody. This is Ginger, and this is Ginger's Chat Show. And it's Friday, July 18th, and also today is the start of the second half of the Major League Baseball season. After this past week's Midsummer Classic, their break. And I hope all the teams are rested up, and those have been injured give more time to recover and everything. As in any sport, there's always going to be injuries. Uh, you try to be safe as possible, but sometimes you don't have control over that. Um, anyway, I hope everyone is well. Um, Today has been kind of a sad day down in Los Angeles in the Los Angeles County's Sheriff's Department. They had an explosion occurred at their training center. Three of the deputies are known dead. Uh, they're still working on gathering information, and so people need to stop speculating. But sometimes you can't help it. But um, people are, trying to help the department, even civilians, like anything suspicious or hurt anything, that type of thing. Um, what happened? How it happened, and how that occurred. Um, they didn't say what kind of explosion it was, but it was just enough to seriously kill somebody. Um, so my heart goes out to the families of their lost loved ones, and let's hope they find the perpetrator or perpetrators that committed this crime. Okay, like to me, that's considered an act of terrorism. Um, so it really kind of makes you wonder what or who is behind all this. Um, Also, Trump he's getting hammered every day. The resistance is hammering back at him hard, very hard, and a lot of people are sick and tired of him and sick and tired of what he's doing. Uh, I read on the Substack, I forgot the name of the column, but I think it's called The Halfway, and there's been not considering, it's been more like, there's been word that J.D. Vance is trying to get the cabinet to now enforce the 25th Amendment in order to remove him. Trump should resign. He needs to go away. And he is not fit to run this country because of his actions and his stupidity. Trump is stupid. He's an idiot. Okay? Uh, he should have no business being in office. Person who should be in office is Kamala Harris or Pete Buttigieg, or who's more that knows how everything works, knows what the rules and regulations are, what the laws are, what they can and cannot do, uh, and also everything should be put back the way it was. Okay, above all, I would suggest to the new president is that but ICE should be banned. Banned, shut down, it's not needed. Okay? Um, and also, the people that have been injured, those that have been injured in raids and everything, they should be compensated. Okay? And then they should be allowed to turn around and sue those that have committed these atrocities. Now, Bonnie did admit most of the ICE personnel are J6ers, insurrectionists that have been hired to do this. I'll tell you what, they should be back in jail. That's assault, that's kidnapping, And that is downright stupid. And the police departments need to round them up and throw them in jail. Put them in alligator Alcatraz. That's where ICE belongs. It's alligator Alcatraz. That's be fitting for them. Okay. The migrants and the immigrants did not hurt anybody. They followed the laws. They knew what the laws were. They've been living here for years. They've been paying taxes. And a lot of them are trying to become U.S. citizens. And when somebody says to the ICE officials, hey, I'm a U.S. citizen, you're not supposed to touch me, they need to heed. Instead of that, they were ignoring them and doing this and not telling them anything. You know what? The same thing should be done to ICE and see how they like it. Give them the same medicine. Put them on the other side of the fence and see how they like to be treated like that. A lot of them don't understand either. They don't understand. A lot of people say they don't care. Probably don't. You don't know. But they need to be put on the other side of the fence, as in jail. And this teased me off that ICE, and also I think Governor Newsom, what he should do is call in the National Guard to round up ICE. Round them up. Remove them. In other words, remove Trump's and Bonda's effective tool. Because they're not going to do anything. They're sitting there dragging their dumb feet. Bondi should be in jail too. Because she's condoning this. And as I said before, I can understand why people support Trump. I think what they're doing is supporting a useful idiot that's willing to do whatever they tell him to do. I think that's what's happening. And Stephen Miller needs to be in jail. Because he's committed a lot of crimes. He has broken a number of laws. The guy should know better, but he doesn't. And why do you think his uncle and his family have disowned him? They have. They've disowned him. So they need to be removed from office. And then when we get the new president in, which I hope will happen soon, it's put everything back the way it was. Ban ICE, remove the tariffs, ban tariffs, remove the tariffs, and call everybody back that's been fired from the various agencies. Okay? Review everything and make corrections. And also, Trump should be tried and charged for the crimes that he committed. He should not be allowed to be let off scot-free whatsoever. He should be in jail. He should be in prison. I don't care if he's old man of 79. The guy should know better, but he doesn't. He refused to learn how things work. And he wants everything done for him. Well, the guy's never grown up. Trump has never grown up. And now the MAGAs, those that did support him, or his supporters, are now finding out the hard truth that Trump doesn't care about them, okay? He's using them. And they are being told he's using them. Now they're finally beginning to wake up. Especially those that are on Medicare, okay? Medicare was put in there for a reason. It was signed into law of the land. He can't cut Medicare. He can't cut, well, not Medicare, but Medicaid. Can't cut Medicaid. It was signed into law years ago. I think it was 1965 when President Johnson created this. And And why on this cruelty, really? You know what? Trump and company need to be head slapped. And they're saying, well, you're being violent. Really? No, they need to be taught a lesson. And that's my opinion. And if people don't like it, well, that's just tough. Everybody's thinking and saying the same thing. People need to speak up. They need to call what it is. Now, on the other subject, I've heard on the news yesterday, and this also took me by surprise, is Stephen Colbert's Late Show. It's supposed to be canceled May of next year. Well, they said CBS are doing it for financial reasons. I'm sitting there laughing. You know why? They've been doing this for 10 years. And nothing's complained to them about financial reasons. They've been doing this for 10 years. And so my thinking is, I'll bet you political. I'll bet you it's a political thing. They're pushed to cancel it because of a political thing. And Stephen Colbert has been pushing back hard on Trump, as he should. Okay? Other presidents have been in office. Of course, Stephen Colbert, he roasts him a little bit, but they laugh at it. Okay? They laugh about it. Even President Obama laughed about it. Okay? Because they have a sense of humor. Trump is he's so sensitive, so thick-skinned, that he wants to get back at him for pointing things out. Well, that's just too bad. Okay? But I do hope Stephen Colbert is picked up by another network. Primarily maybe Bloomberg Television, or go with Midas Touch and use their network. And maybe rent a theater somewhere. Now, I don't know who owns the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York. I don't know who owns that. Too bad the Ed Sullivan Theater can't say, hey, we'll take over the show. And then do a deal with Midas Touch and broadcast that way. There's a number of ways of doing it. Go with independent media, and I'm sure CBS's ratings is going to plummet. I mean, it's going to plummet big time. Right now, CBS doesn't really have a contract for sports or anything. They're not really covering any of the sports. Most of the sports is taken over by Root Sports, NBC, and I think ABC Sports, their divisions, okay? And CBS had better start rethinking this. They better, if they want to keep their ratings and everything up, and using this financial reason excuse, which it is to me is an excuse, because they've been doing this for 10 years with Stephen Colbert. So really, what's the real reason for canceling the show? I'll bet you it's political, as I said before. They're being pushed by idiot Trump in the White House. So, if CBS loses its ratings, well, that's their problem. Because they're going to lose sponsors, because there's a lot of sponsors for Stephen Colbert. A lot of people like him. He gets interesting guests, and he tells it like it is, and if Trump and company can't understand that, that's just their problem. That's my opinion on this. It really is. So anyway, Um, let me check my calendar real quick. Hold on a second. I'm on a different browser, so I'm on Edge browser for this chat. I'm not using Opera because Opera's, uh, they have some issues. I think now my computer is starting to get old. Because some things are not working correctly. As much as I try to fix it, um, so I'm getting recommendations from Hewlett Packard. I have HP desktop. A new one they put out is similar to the one I have now. Let's see. Okay, I will see you on July 21st on Monday for the chat show. And sorry. See you then. And I'll try and get more content in there. I'm still working on learning some new things with YouTube Studio. They're always adding something. And so I'm trying to work toward where I could go live on YouTube. And I try to get more subscribers. So please share. And be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. It's free. Please share. And then hopefully my goal is to earn money on YouTube. But right now I have to get to 1,000 subscribers in order to do so. Now I know they show ads during like the broadcast and everything else. I get paid. I'd be getting paid and they'd be getting paid. But I make a little bit more than YouTube. So I'm working on that goal, trying to bring an extra income that way. Of course, some of you know I've shut down my store. I shut it down last month. And because all the tariffs and everything else and things that Wix is starting to do is kind of confusing. I decided to go ahead and shut it down and do this route with my podcast and everything. I think it's easier to do, and I work it maybe half hour, 2 hours, or whatever every other day, and try to work toward the goal of earning money on YouTube. So I'm going to be looking into that over the weekend. Anyway, try to stay safe. There's a lot of storms going on. In the Midwest. So keep your eye to the sky. Mother Nature's not through with us yet. So please take care. And I will post this on my YouTube channel. And be sure to insist, persist, and push back. I love you all. And just be patient, but be sure to share. And say, hey, we need more independent podcasters like this. Need people to speak up, speak out, and we need to tell the government what to do. Not the other way around. Because remember, they work for us. They work for you and me. Okay? We pay their taxes, which pays their wages, right? And if they're not going to do their job properly, well, bye-bye to them. And getting people who will do public service. It was meant to do. So anyway, I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you on Monday. And thank you for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.